Things are looking a little grim for planet Earth. But the world is starting to wake up and recognize the dangers threatening Earth's health. That's a good thing. However, is it too late to reverse the damage? More importantly, is there a better way going forward?
Ooh, amen. Welcome back. We all love whenever our next guest pops up in a movie, a TV show, or even as a host, but now he's using his platform to help make the planet a better place. Welcome back to the show, yes. Rob Riggle. Rob Riggle!
Hey, how's it going?
Rob, let's jump right in. So excited to talk to you today. One of my favorite movies of all time is Step Brothers, and I see the poster right behind you there.
Yep.
Does anyone ever come up to you? Because, Rob, the first thing I want to mention to you is the Catalina wine mixer, like in that, and just go, pow!
Oh, yeah. I get a lot of that. I get a lot of requests. And I get a lot of people screaming pow at me at very awkward times, which always alarms me, but it's always flattering, I guess.
Yeah, I love it. And I do watch the outtakes too, and there's one specifically with you and Will Ferrell, like when you said you're going to get him right in his suck hole and then you start laughing. How much of that is made up on the spot?
So much is made up, especially when you work with Adam McKay and Will Ferrell. Yeah. These guys are improvisers, and they came up doing improv. And myself, I'm an improviser as well. So for us, it's just a big playground. And we try to make each other laugh. We try to come up with the most unusual, ridiculous thing we can. And generally, it makes us laugh. And if it makes us laugh, that's a good barometer for if it stays in the movie or not.
Hilarious stuff, man. Hilarious.
That's
I love it.
That's awesome. And you have such a cool backstory. I thought I had a weird backstory. I was a middle school teacher, then a comic, then a talk show host. You were a Marine, then a comedy writer, and now you're just a household name, A-list celebrity. How did this happen? Walk us through it.
Oh my gosh, it's such a long story. I'll try to give you a Reader's Digest version. Basically, I was a theater and film major at the University of Kansas. I've always been a fan of comedy and acting, and I wanted to be an actor. I just didn't think it was possible. So, I also had another dream, and that was to serve. So while I was in college, I had my pilot's license. I got a guaranteed flight contract with the Marine Corps. When I graduated, I went through, officer candidate school, went through flight school, all that good stuff, but then changed to become a ground officer so that I could then pursue comedy and acting, because ultimately that's what my dream was. And so that's what I wanted to do. But I wanted to do both, and I was lucky enough that we live in a great country where I could do both.
Wow. Thank you for your service. I just made my bed this morning. That's all I did. That's unbelievable.
Hey, that's a start. That's the way.
That's true. Let's talk about this. You're narrating a new documentary called Plastic Earth. Now, when we think of Rob Riggle, I'm not going to say environmentalist is the first thing that comes to my mind, right? What made you get involved with this? Talk to us.
There are three key.
Yeah, well, it's a good reason. I wouldn't classify myself as an environmentalist. I would classify myself as a regular Joe citizen, someone who's pretty reasonable-minded. The people that made this, Janice Overbeck and Jack Winch, they did a wonderful job putting together this film, and they've done a tremendous amount of research and they've really dove into the details on this film. And so as a result, they did a great job educating me about what's going on with plastics specifically. And I liked it. I liked the way they approached this film. This film is about solutions. It's a solutions-based film. It's not a finger-wagging, shame, blame, political football. I think there's too much of that, and I think because of that, no one listens anymore.
Right. Yeah.
And the simple truth is we have a problem. We got a plastic problem. And here's the thing. I love plastics. I need plastics. We all use them. So don't point your finger at me, because every time I go to the grocery store, that's the only choices I have is plastic. So what I appreciate about this film is they talk about solutions, and it doesn't matter where you come from, what you do. The solutions is what we need to talk about. So that's why I really appreciate and why I got on board, is the way they approached it.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I appreciate you clarifying.
We don't appreciate your partisan rhetoric. That's awesome, man.
I really do appreciate how you made the distinction that you don't consider yourself an environmentalist. You consider yourself like the everyday person, because I think that makes it feel more tangible and it's more inclusive. But everyone feels like it's impossible to reduce plastic waste these days, or it feels impossible. So what are some things that we can do today that would really make a change?
Well, here's a little bit of good news, and that's very rare these days, but here's a little bit of good news. There are people all over the globe working on this problem, coming up with really wonderful, innovative ideas, a lot of technology being put to use, a lot of biodegradable, I guess is probably an easy way to say it, biodegradable plastics that don't take 100 years to disintegrate. The sheer amount of tonnage of plastic that's being dumped into the ocean, it's every single day. It's phenomenal. And America's not the only culprit here. We mean, China, India, a lot of people got to step up in a big way if we want to turn the ship. But on an individual level, single-use plastic. Boy, I tell you, if we can stop using single-use plastic, we're going to make a huge difference. I'm good for probably 1 or 2 Starbucks cups a day. I'm good for about 3 or 4 bottles of water a day. Yeah. I was. Now, if I could put it into, a thermos, a water bottle, preferably glass, that's a good thing to do. Right there, just you as an individual have made a difference. And when you talk about turning this big ship, it takes a lot of effort. I'm one of 8 billion people on the earth right now. So if we get more and more people to do that, we're going to see a difference in the waste that's being dumped in the oceans and the landfills every day.
Beautifully said. Just self-accountability.
Yeah.
Thank you. And Rob, you always make us laugh, but now we love how you're helping get the word out about this. So thank you again. DBL Nation, see Rob narrating Plastic Earth, now available on video on demand. Thank you so much. We'll be right back.
Appreciate you, man.
Thanks, Rob.
Riggle
Thank you, guys.